Hello learners, welcome to our today's class where we are going to discuss about support and movement in plants and animals. Support and movement in plants and animals. So let us start by definition of terms which will be used in our today's topic. Number 1, support. So support is the ability of an organism to bear its own mass or weight and maintain its body form. Support is the ability of an organism, whether it is an animal or a plant, to bear its own weight and maintain its body form. That is our term number 1, support. Next term is movement. Movement is the process by which an organism displaces parts of its body or the whole of its body from one place to another. For example, when wind is shaking the branches of plants, that one is movement. And to differentiate between movement and locomotion, in locomotion we talk of displacing the whole body, that is change in position. When a person moves from one point to another, that is locomotion. But when a person moves their own hands or their own head, that is movement. That is the difference between the two terms. Let's talk about the types of movement. Types of movement. Number 1, let's again define the term locomotion. Locomotion is the process by which an organism displaces the whole of its body from one place to another. So when you move from one point to another or place to another, that is locomotion. And we say the difference between plants and animals: plants move but do not locomote, whereas animals move as well as locomote. That is, they can change their position. Right. Localized movement. Localized movement is the process by which an organism displaces parts of its body from one place. For example, when the branches of leaves of plants are shaken by wind, that is localized movement. You just displace the parts of the body but not the whole organism. Let us discuss about the levels of movement in plants. The levels of movement in plants. Number 1, we start by talking about the cellular level of movement. For example, swimming of the male gametes in bryophytes and pteridophytes, and growth of the pollen tube to bring about fertilization. That is a kind of movement which takes place at cellular level. Number 2, we talk of another form of movement that is at organ level. For example, the trophic and nastic movements. The trophic and nastic movements, those are within the organ level. And lastly, let us discuss about the necessity for movement in plants. In this subtopic, we ask ourselves, why do plants move? Why do plants change position of their branches, of their leaves and the rest? What are the importances of that kind of movement? And number 1, we say, helps in swimming of the male gametes in bryophytes and pteridophytes and growth of the pollen tube to bring about fertilization. So through that movement, gametes are able to move from one point to another, leading to fertilization. Number 2, we say movement, those are the nastic and trophic responses of plants to obtain resources from the environment, such as water, light and nutrients. So we say through movement, plants are able to obtain resources from the environment, and the resources include water, light and nutrients. Number 3, we say movement enables plants to escape harmful stimuli such as high temperature. So through those nastic entrophic responses, plants are able to escape harmful stimuli or harmful changes in the environment. And by that is the end of the lesson. Let us meet in our next lesson.